Okay, so this is one of my best Northwest poplars that I started about 12 years ago from a cutting about that big, about 10 inches long and thinner than a pencil 12 years ago. So any one of these can now be made into a cutting. They're all male trees. That's what causes the fuzzing. People don't get you can't plant female trees. It's as simple as that. These are all male trees. They go all the way around my property, 1,600 feet of them at 20-foot spacing and golden willows spaced in between. So we're taking now from a nursery started with Arbor Day trees.
I'm used to people working right around there.
So you can see after 6 years, some of them are pretty nice size. That's the little wifey here. Yeah, all these were started with Arbor Day trees. That's the tiniest one he's taken now. So you can see, here's my nursery. I started these out as Arbor Day trees. Some of them weren't even a foot tall. And I have the man with his bobcat come and give some of these a new home. So we're going to keep that line here and the outside line there. All the ones that are flagged are going to stay. And you can see here, this is the height of some of them in 6 years growth. So here comes my man. He's going to put that right in there. How's that for some topsoil? I'm going to pull out the stake here. Making a little story. Try not. swamp. This is for you, my little toy. I want to show you how this thing turns solid. Well, if you tell it that, straight into a garden. I'll make about 4 passes over a couple days, but watch what it does to solid turf. Okay, so any of you guys that think I'm a little goofy for wearing the gear, well, just take a look at this. Look at my tractor here. That'll all be in your lungs and in your eyes and ears and stuff, so plus hearing protection. So anyway, anyone that thinks I'm silly, well, that's what it looks like. So each year we save a great pile of seeds left over, peel them out and eat them as much as we can through the winter, but sorted it out and I got a bucket over at the garden already, so let's go get started. So we're lined it out now and let's get started. We used to plant 200 plants, sometimes more, but we don't bother anymore. That was 1,600 pounds that one year, so we're not bothering with that. Supplying half the world with potatoes for free. Just for the family now, maybe 60 hills. So the garden's in. Got a few beans coming up. But as you can see, weeds grow faster than your planted stuff. So the hinge pin of our garden is this row of corn. There's 2 rows of corn. Some of them haven't come up much. So well, June 14th, it froze heavily here. So now we're, I think, the 16th today, and we think we might be safe to plant our tomatoes. So you can see the potatoes are coming up, but that's where we're at. So unless you like using a hoe for those weeds, get one of these. Okay, so what I wanted to say is this little tiller here, I've had it for 13 years, and I've done, this garden was made completely with this tiller out of grass like that. And I'll show you guys a picture of that. And when we first started gardening together, my wife and I, we just used a shovel. And when I grew up as a kid, we used a shovel, grub hoe and a hoe and so forth. But it's amazing, and I may even show you guys that, how you can just get a start with a shovel. Okay, so this thing has never let me down. It's a reversing tine Sears Craftsman with a Briggs & Stratton. Tired sometimes, I'll go behind it like this. Now if I do that a few times on a hot day, come back with a rake, that's the end of the brome grass. it just eats it, and it just turned the whole thing into a garden. But it's a lot of work. You have to beat it 3 or 4 times, you know, in the hot days. And then what happens is that the brome grass just dies. And brome grass is basically a quack grass. It's a rhizoming grass, and our property is infested with it. So it's our main war here. You can see it all through the garden. So this is what we did with the tractor in the previous segments. Okay, so just thought you'd like to see this little tiller. And then if I was doing this with just sod, this is how I plant garden, and this works better than the other method. You turn the brome grass, you see the rhizomes? Those will go right through a potato. They're sharp like a needle. Look, I push it, almost goes in my finger. Okay? So you pull it aside, hit it. Give it a bit of a kick. And you'll see what a nasty monster this is that I'm dealing with here. Okay? And it overtakes any perennial bed you have. It's just a nightmare. But that's what you do. You do this. And I'm an old fart. Just do this. You do that a few times. It quits real easy. There's dandelion. See? Now, if I keep doing this over a period of time, my wife can literally come behind me, take a rake to this, and seed it. And to get rid of anything that's left over, you do this. See? Do this. Okay, so you guys that are worried about the end of the world, there's a place to plant spuds. Right there. See? Pretty soon there's nothing. Whereas with the rototiller, you can see the brome grass, right? It's all through it now. See? So you have to beat it to death like a lot of times, and then it'll still come back. But anyway, I just wanted to show you that I'm breathing pretty hard, so I'm in a mask, and I don't like dirt, and I don't like ruining my ears. Just point out a few of the features. It has forward with chill, forward, neutral, and reverse. That's the shifter, fast restore. Okay, so what I wanted to show you is that you want to be really careful about getting out of bed. Put it in reverse. And there's the bed you've laid out. See now how flat that is? You want to be really careful, so now I'll come put my tomatoes in there. But to put tomatoes, this is my bed laid out. Okay, so we're gonna now put tomatoes in for you. Okay, here we got about 25 tomatoes, and we had already put some in. We covered them, they're still alive, but yeah, frost June 14th. This year we're gonna try this product here for blossom end rot. We've been having a lot of trouble. We used to get 50 plants. We got 1,100 pounds of tomatoes the 1 year, and the last 4 years we've hardly had a tomato to eat, and it's because of this. So they claim that it's due to improper intake of calcium with the you know, the watering is not exact. So anyway, here's my little sets, and I got a variety of different types, and we're going to show you how we put them in.
Hello.
Okay, so it kind of goes without saying, plant your plants as the sun goes down so that they have time to acclimate overnight, and also acclimate your plants over like a couple weeks outside. If it gets brutal and windy and stuff, bring them in. This is how I take them out of the pot. So like that. What we're doing here, we're using our corn that's over there as our windbreak from the northwest. My wife can do this part. And this is our method. Okay? So, just like you see me plant anything else, this is how we do it. So they say a tablespoon of this stuff in the hole. Put the plant in. Clip any bottom leaves off that are annoying, and then that put it right down in the hole. Right down the hole. Step on it once, out of the way, wifey. Like that. That's done. This stuff here, they claim a 1/4 cup per plant. Well, we don't have enough for a 1/4 cup per plant, but they say scatter it around. Now always leave yourself a well. Okay, so if it rains hard, then you got a well. Catches the water. Okay? And on to the next one. We're planting our shortest plants. These are Prairie Prides. They're a bush tomato that only grows about 1.5 feet tall. And we're going to put them closest to the sun at about 3 foot spacing. And the taller ones will go closer to the taller corn. Just turn that around a bit. Drop her in the hole from the top. Okay, not worried about that little leaf. Don't matter. Okay, sometimes if you leave the leaves here on the bottom touching the ground, it'll suck nutrient from the soil, from the plant, I'm sorry. So I'll take the ends of the leaves off, like so. Anything that's touching the ground too much, when here's touching a bit, you know, you don't want to. It's taking these guys a long time to grow leaves, so we don't want to take everything, but I've had tomatoes freeze right back to the ground. Last year they froze back to the ground. That's a little close. June 8th. And they came good enough to produce tomatoes, but unfortunately we had a lot of blossom end rot. Snip that leaf right away, Him. Good. Here she goes. One step. That's all it takes. And I've been doing this. Sweep them around. Sweep them around, honey. Every tree that's planted on this property has been planted with this spade right here. 700 trees and climbing. And I do it all like that. So back to the tomatoes. All just like this. Turn it over. That brings the stuff that's down underneath up, where the moisture is if it's drier. Pull it back like so. I mean, we'd be going a lot faster if we weren't putting this stuff in. You got to imagine we have 25 plants in right now. That one's actually good just like that, eh? So I'll come back and I'll make sure that the wells are all good on them after. Getting a little off. We're not marking it out this time, so talking to the camera, I'm getting a little off. Yep, put them in there. So what we'll do, hon, is we'll put the stuff down deep, but the tomato shallow. I'll just there you go. And just do that. And goes the little guy. Teeny little guy. Whether he makes it, who knows. Good enough. See, and I've gotten over the years, I could come right beside a plant. And basically I got my well right there already.
What one would you like to put in there?
This is a Tiny Tim cherry tomato. Really short, barely even comes above the ground, which is good for windy places, which this is a windy place. I guess I should have followed my beautiful bed I made. It was a nice straight line. Earliana. That one's a little shorter, we don't want it. As you can see, if we weren't putting this amendments on, it goes pretty fast. So you know, you could be down on the ground here with a trowel and stuff. Don't bother with that. Take that nice big one. Well, I hope you guys don't get too bored with watching us plant tomatoes, but I want to sort of make the point to you. If we have a good year, this will be anywhere from 600 to 900 pounds of tomatoes. And I think I've shown that in a former video. See how I do that? I can come right up against it. Same thing. When I plant trees, same thing. Doesn't matter what I plant. Flowers, I do the same thing. You'll see on shows, leave it soft like this, put it in, and you know, with a little trowel or whatever, water it in, your plant will die. Okay? Because the air is getting to it.
These are little.
It needs the compression from the air. These babies come up too late in the pot. They're really delicate. Sometimes with these little guys, best thing you can do is just do this right away. Just take this right off. There. Roots small, doesn't exhaust them. There. A little delicate. If they don't make it, it's not a biggie. We just don't worry about that. Let's leave that one like that. Yeah, like half of the leaf on the bottom ones. There we go.
Sweetie 100 or Centennial Rocket?
Centennial Rocket. Oh, let's put that nice Sweetie 100 in.
This is a Centennial.
Oh, put that one in. That'd look pretty in the video. So in case I don't use the earlier segments, we're using this. That's something you got to watch right there. Is your helper will go to put their hand in when they shouldn't be doing it, and you cut their hand off with the shovel. So I don't want to cut my wife's hand off so she can keep her hand out of the shovel zone. That's her part. Start from the top on, break it from the top. You need big hand. Big hand. Oh, you got it, right? Okay. Okay. Nice. Is that deep enough? No. Let's take her out and put her in deeper. Take these off. See, now you can see there are shoots coming up there already. Okay? That can save you in a frost. Take it by the plant, honey. Okay, put some more of that stuff in there. You ready? Okay, just let me dig a little deeper, honey. Alright, in the hole. There you go. There you go, that's better. Alright. And if you can, try and wait to plant your tomatoes, you know, after the soil has gotten really good and wet. We just had a really bad drought this spring. That'll do her. Watch hand. Four square. Done deal. See? Don't go nowhere. Okay, I think you guys sort of got the gist of it. Give you a shot of the when they're all done. So what I wanted to show you is that once I'm done stomping, basically you have your well already made. And that is so important, because if you have a hump and they're planted in the hump, well, I mean, as soon as it dries up in the morning, your tomato is going to die, alright? Okay, thanks for watching Toss Start. So here is a proper way to put your cage so that this bottom ring here is supporting the leaves, okay, as best you can. And the girls are busy putting in all our bent cages from previous tornadoes. Hey girls?
Yes, they've been through it.
And it wouldn't be possible without Mr. Shovel. All possible due to Mr. Shovel. Thank you, Mr. Shovel.